So let's talk about gas station TV. What made you decide to make the change, and tell us a little bit about its mission?
Sure. So, again, coming from a tradition agency background, and then working on the digital side, again, both on the agency side and as well as on the publisher side with Yahoo, there was a clear need to address the simple facts that people are not spending as much time, quality time, with advertising on television. There's a lot of reports that say it's humming along, but in fact, DVR penetration, especially among younger people, people watching whether on their computer, people multitasking at home, all those themes that people talked about so long are truly happening right now. So giving advertisers an outlet where their messages can be seen was very important to me. We were doing that online all the time, but the opportunity to television's great. I love watching television, but event television. And you need to be able to take those experiences and get them in front of people where they are. People are so busy. People are running around, daily. They're doing their errands. They're going back and forth from work. What gas station TV does is it's that pause point during people's day, that 5 minutes of time where you have the opportunity to really capture someone and get them to understand the messaging. If you give them a great product, which we have, entertain them, inform them. And it just seemed a natural evolution for myself in terms of kind of bringing what's going on from a digital perspective and from a television perspective together and really helping marketers achieve their goals.
How is it measured?
We're measured by Nielsen, just like traditional television. So we do monthly pocket pieces, just like traditional television, and we have audience breaks and demographics. And it's really solid, the measurement for gas station TV, because it's tied to a universal truth. The universal truth is that a transaction is happening at that pump. It's a lot different than when you're in your living room. You might have gone up and gone to the bathroom. You might have your computer in front of you. You might have your kids. You might have your dogs. All those different things that you're doing that happens with traditional media. More importantly, there's no on or off button. You're there and you're going to be watching. So someone can't change the channel. The programming is solid. We've done a really good job. We've got content, sports from ESPN, news and entertainment from NBC and Access Hollywood, local weather, as well as original program that we do. And it's all delivered on an IP basis. So our messaging can be customized down to the individual station level. And what's important about that is that we get to deliver this mass audience across the whole country, 30 million consumers every month, but we can customize that messaging on an individual station basis to be able to drive action. We're kind of the best of video and the best of the internet kind of all rolled into one.
So how does it work in states like New Jersey where you can't pump your own gas?
That's a fun question. So we're in the New York DMA all over, except New Jersey. So we're not going to be in New Jersey because it is full serve, or Oregon. Oregon is the other full serve state. That's not going to grow. We just happen to not be in those particular locations because our value proposition is that one-to-one communication when someone's outside of their car doing their fueling transaction and being able to see our televisions. In a full-serve environment when someone's still in the car, it doesn't work. So we're not in New Jersey or Oregon.
And so in terms of measurement, because I'm curious to know how Nielsen does measure it. Is it connected to the pump in some way so that you know that an action has taken place at the pump, therefore that's counted?
Sure. So all the transaction data from all of the stations in our network are sent to Nielsen on a monthly basis. And Nielsen analyzes that data and double checks it. They've created a whole system for us, frankly, on how to verify the accuracy of all the transaction data. So we have numbers that are set, and then Nielsen comes out on a very frequent basis and surveys consumers, gets all the demographic information from the consumers, male, female, all the traditional demographic breaks like I do on television. So it's kind of a 1-2 punch that they've created for us, and it's been really successful. The agencies, it's nice because there are a lot of questions on measurement at home still. There are questions on how maybe traditional outdoor or how radio or how other digital video products are measured in different environments throughout the, whether it happens to be a lot of locations, maybe if you're in the grocery store and there's screens, people are very transient. Well, people aren't transient at the gas station. They're not moving from department to department and maybe passing by a screen. We've got them locked down in front of that pump for 5 minutes. We like to say essentially they're tied to the screen with an 8-foot rubber hose. So we've got them locked down, and not just holding them there. We've created a great content experience for them, so they want to watch. So Nielsen also measures ad recall, likability, what kind of content people like, and probably the most important fact I think that Nielsen has generated for us from their survey research is that 85+% of people want to come back and watch again. That's the highest number you can find for any ad-supported media. People like the experience, and like the experience essentially when you're in front of the pump, when you're sitting there for those 5 minutes, you're bored. You got nothing to do, and we've given them something to entertain them. So it's worked out nice.
So you said Nielsen surveys. In what way do they survey? I thought maybe they would match credit card usage through Experian or Axiom to your data. But
no, Nielsen's chosen to take all the transaction data from the stations, the hard quantitative data, and again, that's how they provide us with total impressions by market and by month. They come out to the stations and they talk to consumers, and as you'd expect from Nielsen, they put together a statistically significant approach on how they look at our network, how they look at all of our different markets, and it's been effective.
so it's a custom study for gas station TV?
Yes, it's a custom study for gas station TV that's combined again with the quantitative data.
So is this measurement closer to online measurement, or is it closer to, since it is a screen and it is video, is it closer to television measurement?
You know, I think it's a little bit of a combination of both. You know, the more quantitative part, I think, is a little bit like the internet, where the internet is really taking a look at every individual consumer that's coming on, and that's how they're getting their numbers. Compared to television, which, you know, there's people meters in the way that they do those things, but it seems a lot more solid here that, again, they take the data that we know that consumers are at the pump from the transactions, that universal truth of that transaction data, which is really solid for us. So I think that makes it a little bit of both, I would say.
And in terms of attention, so that people are not looking at the price going up at the tank or checking their car to make sure they're not spilling over on the curb, how do you know that their eyes are on the screen?
Well, again, that comes bound for a couple facts. Nielsen does studies for us that we look at ad recall, likability, do people want to watch again, and they specifically look at are people watching and listening. So we have very, very high engagement levels, and they're excellent. We've really, again, come back to that very simple fact of people are bored when they're there. So that has really been able to really accelerate all our numbers. Our ad recall numbers are stronger than traditional broadcast, our likability numbers. So you take, that's the research component of it. Then let's take the real life component. The real life component is when we do programs that are specifically designed to generate sales, maybe within the convenience store, drive people to an online promotion, our programs are very successful. We've done lots of programs that have showed significant increases in sales lift of products within the convenience store, driving people to close by retailers, and we've seen significant product lift for when we're advertising in very, very specific controlled environments, as well as driving people for online programs. So we've got the research component, which is really very solid for us, and then we've got the real life piece, which of course that's where the money is. Can you help the marketer generate revenue and generate the metrics that they're looking for? And we've been very successful at that.